And we're underway. And this one will bring it out for Iowa to the 25-yard line. First snap, 25 for the Hawkeyes, and that's Weegan in motion. And they're going to come up with the run right away. And he goes out for 7 or 8 before the Gopher defense can bring him down. As you take a look at some of the players to watch in this one. Weegan, who we just talked about, he can do it all as a return man, receiver. John Nestor, he started his career here, number 17 at Iowa, before the transfer to Minnesota. So he returns to the field where he started things at Kinnick Stadium. Gronowski got 7 on the first snap. Second down and 3 in an empty backfield with 4 receivers to the left. He pump fakes that way and a screen underneath to Weegan, and Weegan's got room. Still on his feet. And just like that, he's into Minnesota territory. And a first down for the Hawkeyes. Gronowski under center. And they go with their tailback. And short gain for Kamari Moulton.
Kamari Moulton, the ball carrier.
Second down and 8. Gronowski throws complete. And it's a first down to Sam Phillips. Mobility, or maybe in the passing game as well. Here's Moulton, and he's tripped up for a loss. And a nice play by John Nestor.
Sure was.
2 tight end set and an eye backfield behind Gronowski. Play action. Loads, reloads, and going deep. Man there, just through the fingertips of Seth Anderson. Would have been a touchdown.
2-man route that time. Strong play action. Condensed formation a bit. Beautiful play. He had him beating Brian easily on the play. Just, half yard too much?
Yep. Right through the diving hands of Anderson, and Mark knew he had one right there.
Yeah, I thought he waited a little too long, but he had enough gun to get it there in time.
So instead of a touchdown, it's third down and 11. Iowa about 47% on their third down conversions on the year, working just inside the Minnesota 34-yard line. Xavier Williams in the backfield with Gronowski. Set to throw, maybe. Gonna throw late, and got it complete to Jacob Gill.
Wow, that was a great play by Gill that time.
Iowa opening drive has worked it to the Minnesota 23-yard line. Gronowski in the gun. He'll give it off to Moulton. Right side, Moulton, big opening. Cut back, and inside the 5, he's tripped up. Cassie and Patterson in the backfield. This should be Gronowski all the way. Guess not. Yes, it will. Quarterback draw, touchdown.
What a creative play.
Nice mix of run and pass. The extra point by Drew Stevens is good. Drew Stevens now to kick Coy Parrish. Waiting on the other end for Minnesota. Also a dangerous return man. He's got a shot at this one. Parrish trying to weave his way out and got out to about the 24-yard line. First down for Darius Taylor, and he only got about a half yard. Ejeboy in the backfield now for the Gophers. And he looks confused as to where to line up or what the snap count is. Lindsey under center will throw. And to the outside, complete, but going to have to make up some ground just to get a gain out of this. They do to the 39. They know where he's going to be. As Gary said, he's a pocket quarterback. Third down at 5. Straight 4-man rush. Lindsey going deep, too deep, incomplete. Intended for Tracy. Caden Weegan awaiting the punt from Tom Weston. He's got a shot at it from the 23. Weegan makes the first man miss. Trying to get outside. They'll bring him down around the 36-yard line. Set up in the eye. And a big opening. Oh, and a trip up, or Moulton might still be running. On short yardage, they'll throw to the outside, complete in Minnesota territory. Weejan down the sideline. He's going to be tripped up, but a 28-yard pickup.
You just cannot load the box and expect the tailback to carry the ball against this Iowa team this year.
Already back at the Gopher 25-yard line. The toss. And about 4 more for Moulton. Devin Eastern made the tackle from the Minnesota 22-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Moulton again. And he's about 1.5 yards shy of the first down.
Bo Stevens took a little spill on that play. He's the left guard. This team has played well together as you look at where they're ranked.
Remember, that offense was terrible back in 2023, and every year now, as Tim Lester came in as the offensive coordinator, getting better and getting better.
Yeah, I think Bo Stevens had to come out. Yes, you see him limping out. Looks like his left ankle knee in the game. Leighton Jones, number 64, is at left guard.
3rd down and 2. And it's Gronowski, and the Gophers stand him up. I don't know if he got there. Might be a little bit short.
It is 4th down. Key decision.
Gronowski under center. Xavier Williams is behind him. Quarterback sneak all the way. I think he got it. Gophers say no. They'll have to unpile everybody. Oh, he might be short.
It's right at the line.
The linesman came right down the line, as you saw.
The marker is right on the line. If it touches the line, it's a 1st down.
Yeah, they'll take a look at this, I would imagine. PJ wants them to.
I don't know how they can find the ball here.
Yeah, I don't either.
Big push from Large. Oh, how about this? A large push from Large. Hey, no mystery right there. The Gophers anticipated a quarterback sneak. It was just a little bit too short.
So it's a 1st down at the 15-yard line. 2nd offensive series for the Hawkeyes, and they're threatening in the red zone again. Gronowski keeps. Minnesota equal to the task this time. And Anthony Smith made first contact and then got help from his friends, including Kingsbury. 2 tight end set on 2nd down and 11 as Gronowski lost yardage. And this one's tipped. Almost intercepted by Nestor, beg your pardon. Gronowski throws late and incomplete. Intended for Seth Anderson. An All-American here at Iowa for the most field goals in Iowa history, and he's tacked 1 more on. That's career field goal number 69 from 34 yards out, and the Hawkeyes add to their lead. And now let's see if their offense can get anything going, or maybe Coy Parrish, their return man, who you see jumping at the goal line. Stevens to kick. Parrish from about 3 yards deep. And he's not going to get to the 25 again. And he thought he was still on his feet. Maybe he was, but it's only around the 16-yard line. Now he's got to get something going for this offense. Their defense has been on the field the whole quarter. Lindsey stands tall, rifles one, intercepted. Picked off by Zach Lutmer, and Lutmer's going the other way, and he might score. Touchdown, Iowa. A pick 6 by number 6. Stevens, busy kicker. Extra point is up and good. Iowa's had a pick 6 in a season, 18 straight years. This is the first one in Big Ten play since 4 years ago against Wisconsin. And this time Parrish says, you know what, I want us to at least start at the 25, and he takes a fair catch.
They've been behind before, and they were forced to throw a lot. Let's see what they can do here.
They'll keep it on the ground, and no gain on the play for Ejeboy. They fake it to him. Lindsay fires down the middle high, incomplete. It was intended for John Tracy. And getting a little bit rowdy at Kinnick. Lindsay, quick throw this time, and that's complete, but it's short of the first down. Got it to Drew Bibber, his tight end, and it's 4th down. And as Gary said, every time number 21 gets a chance to field one of these, the crowd comes to life. He already has a 95-yard punt return.
He got a piece of that. That was blocked.
Yeah. And it's going to be way up around midfield. Oh, it's going to be the 45-yard line. Moulton, the tailback. Gronowski, play action. Might want a big one here. And now he just might take off on his own. And slides into a first down. Nope, not quite. Nathan McNeil in the backfield. That's Weegan on the jet sweep, and not much there. Mark Gronowski at the controls at quarterback. And Kamari Moulton's going to have a first down run. First down, Iowa. Moulton straight up the middle. Gets wrestled down, but he picked up about 6. 2nd and 4. Gronowski. Plenty of time. Going long to the end zone. Touchdown, Iowa. Reese Vanderzee, 29-yard score. Capped another quick drive in 3 minutes and went 45 yards in 5 plays. That was after the bad punt. So right now, Minnesota comes out to the 25. They do not have a first down yet here. Got a rushing touchdown and now a passing touchdown. And let's see if Minnesota can get anything going. That's going to be a loss of 2. Wanting to throw here and drop the ball. Minnesota covers it. Marcellus Marshall, the right guard, got on top of it, or it would have been an even bigger disaster.
Yeah, Max Llewellyn, number 48, comes off the edge right here. Watch this play. Complete effort around and swings that arm. They all go for that football all the time now. Better than a hit, go for that football.
And that's his 2nd forced fumble of the year, but Minnesota able to cover it. Another 3rd down. Minnesota still looking for a first down. Lindsay in trouble again. And they'll trip him up. Down he goes. Aaron Graves got him. This time from his own end zone. Weegan takes at the 50. Look out. Weegan got a crease. He's going to take it. Touchdown, Iowa. His 2nd punt return score of the year. This one from 50 yards. Stevens for the point after. And it's up and good. And Minnesota will come out to the 25-yard line looking for a first down. First down, Minnesota, the 25-yard line. The pitch. Oh, big hit after a short gain by Ejeboy. Lindsay, play action, and there's a strike and a first down. Kendrick Lanier. Lindsay back and threw behind his intended receiver Brockington on that one. Lindsay, quick wide out screen. And tough run Still short of the first down. Will Brockington on the reception. Lindsay in the shotgun. Ejiboy to his left. It'll be a throw for Lindsay. Maybe, maybe not. Down he goes. Aaron Graves again. His second sack of the first half. Weston to kick. I don't have to tell you who's on the other end.
Oh, this is a big kick though.
And it bounces at the 2, goes in for the touchback. Iowa first down after the punt into the end zone at the 20-yard line. And the Gophers with a 2-yard loss on Xavier Williams. Becker made the tackle along with Darius Green. And Iowa's got a 31-0 lead already. Gronowski, play fake, throw back, screen, and the Gophers up to the task there on the tight end, Ortworth. And we got a flag, our first one of the day. And it looks like it's going to be holding against the Hawkeyes, and with that loss on the play, they might decline this.
Offense number 59. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Here comes a blitz. Quick slant, but his knee touched down as Seth Anderson tried to corral that thing, and then his left knee hit the turf, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, he had a chance here. If he keeps his feet under him, he's got a chance for maybe 8-10 yards and making at least a chase for a first down. So the slip on the play, Gronowski, Anderson both upset him.
First punt for Iowa coming up. And that is Coy Parrish. He's a dangerous return guy as well for Minnesota, awaiting the punt of Reese Dakin. Trying to keep it away from Parrish, and does, as it goes out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. And we got a penalty marker for the second time here in the last couple of minutes.
During the kick, holding number 48 of the receiving team. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First and 10, Minnesota.
There's Tim Lester right there. They could have easily won that game.
Tim in his second year as the offensive coordinator. Here's a bootleg and a throw to the tight end, Jamison Gears. Picked up 4 on that pass play, second down and 6. Fake it to Ejiboy. Now they're going to throw it to him, and nice catch. About a yard shy of the first down as he's run out of bounds by Zach Lutmer, the guy that had the pick 6 earlier in the game.
Yeah, they'll line up Lutmer all over on the field. Plays a little bit of safety, a little bit of corner when they go 3 wide receivers, coming a very valuable player on this defense.
Minnesota goes with a little bit of tempo, but maybe not enough tempo or too much. It's a false start.
The tempo started too soon for, I think, Dalen Ray.
Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, third down.
We've seen that happen so many times. Teams that are not used to going fast just don't handle tempo very well.
No. So now it brings up third down and 6. Lindsay, a screen to the middle, and they get the first down. Got it to Brockington.
One of the first blitzes of the day, man-to-man coverage, perfect call, going for the inside screen. Remember, Iowa started with a play like that, the exact one Minnesota runs.
Le'Meke Brockington, the leading receiver for the Gophers, coming into this one. Back to the ground. Ejiboy on the carry as we approach the 5-minute mark remaining. Jaden Montgomery, an inside linebacker, made the stop. And again, Minnesota trying to go without a huddle here. They get something on the board or something positive, as Gare said before halftime. Lindsay swings it out. And Ejiboy is just met head on by Deshaun Lee. Minnesota only 2 first downs, looking for one on 3rd down and 9 here. Brockington in motion. Here they come. The blitz, the throw, a little bit behind Brockington. He couldn't one-hand it. And now it's Weston to punt again. Kick. Weegan has to get out of the way and let it bounce out of bounds somewhere inside the 25-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 23. That's a nice spinning run by Kamari Moulton. Over the ball on 3rd down, and Gronowski in the shotgun. Gronowski will run it. Easy first down, a lot more. Hit as he slides, and Iowa looking for flags, and the players mixing it up a little bit at the end of that one. Gronowski off the play fake, looking for more. And this time the Gophers are going to come up with a sack as we check in with Jenny.
Well, guys, you were just talking about South Dakota State. Mark Gronowski brought a little tradition with him this week from that university. He told me 1 game a week they would do something fun with facial hair. So this week he's rocking a Fu Manchu. He left and he said, my girlfriend just shook her head. She knows it's only for 1 week. But he was trying to recruit teammates, finally convinced left tackle Trevor Loke to join in, guys.
Well, he came in looking a little like Joe Namath when he came into our meeting yesterday. And the Gophers, the defense, been out there the whole game, but they're still hitting people.
Yeah, just to follow up on that story, his last decision, I mean, does you go turn pro after that? He said, I needed a little bit more of a pro offense. He decided to follow Tim Lester, his lead. He ran that Green Bay offense as an assistant coach. So that's one of the reasons he wanted to come to Iowa.
And it's been a good decision for both the Iowa team and this young fella. Final minute of the first half. 3rd down at 14. See if they just keep it on the ground and are content with a big lead. And we got a flag.
Timeout.
Oh, timeout. Gronowski hesitates. Now he's going to run for it and try to get to the sideline. Oh, and he throws late and saved himself a little yardage, I guess. Reese Dakin's punt. Going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 25-yard line. Call it the 25 and a half. So 25 seconds remaining in the half. And they won against Penn State last week, which is kind of a nice signature win for them. And that might be the last play of the half as Ejeboy on the carry. Not good possessions for Minnesota.
They've had 20 yards in sacks, which adds on to the rushing attack, but they're -9, so that means they've run for 11 yards.
31-0. Iowa heading to the locker room, halfway to the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy. Drew Stevens to kick off. Cam Davis and Coy Parrish back deep for the Gophers. Third quarter underway. Let's see if Drake Lindsey can make something happen for the Gophers. His first throw is a dart.
Yep.
And a good play and a first down. So Minnesota, 1 play, 1 first down. Much more than they did for a quarter and a half in the first half. Lindsay off play action on the roll to the right. Throw in deep. And it's intercepted. Not what they wanted to do. TJ Hall, second interception for the Hawkeye defense.
That's a bad mistake by your quarterback. Throwing the ball up for grabs to a tight end down the field. Jamison Gears just is not used to these deep throws. That was a tight end that time as he runs out. Little possibility on the backside, but he got shot out of the pocket, throws it, and that is a tough play, asking for one of your guys that don't run those type of plays to make a play against a corner that's used to those deep balls.
Jazzy and Patterson is in the backfield for the Hawkeyes. Gronowski throws out in the flat. That's complete to Jacob Gill. Gill got about 7. They've had 4 games of over 200 yards rushing on the season and headed in the direction again today. Second down and 3. Toss sweep. Patterson's got the first down. Devon Williams made the tackle, but not before number 4 got what he needed. There he comes. They fake the jet sweep. No, they give it to him on the jet sweep. Whoa. I thought Gronowski still had it. Excuse me. On a second down and 10 from their own 27. Play clock down to 2. And it is Moulton. Whoa, that was a collision.
Yeah,
still got about 2 yards out of it.
Good to see that Gopher defense playing football. You're playing for your brothers right now.
Gophers defense held on the last couple of third downs of the second quarter against the Iowa offense. Let's see if they can get off the field here on third down. Throws on the money, but about a yard shy of the first down as Jacob Gill's got another catch.
Playing man coverage, and you're forcing them to throw a ball downfield.
Coy Parrish backpedaling, awaiting the kick from Reese Dakin. Might have a play. Nope. Late fair catch. Got it around the 18-yard line. Iowa always solid in that capacity. Here's a toss. And maybe 2 yards for Ijaboy. There's Phil.
Yep. We knew Norm. Iowa between 1999 and 2011. He was the offensive coordinator, and then Phil right behind him since 2012.
Brockington down on the play, being attended to. Leading receiver for the Gophers out of Moultrie, Georgia.
I think he was blocking on the, right at the end of the play. Doesn't it always happen that way?
Fifth-year senior, here's the end of the play. And goes down right in the middle of the screen there. We'll check on him. Cam Davis, the Minnesota tailback, on a second down and 7. Drake Lindsay wanting to throw, not getting a chance to throw. And the sack by Ethan Herkett. Extra man on the rush. The throw is complete. Going to be well short of any kind of first down. Only out to the 19-yard line of Javon Tracy. And it's 4th down again. And again, now you hold your breath if you're Minnesota, and you start to cheer if you're Iowa, with Weegan waiting on the punt. This one a mile high. And he takes it on the fly and got about 10 out of it.
When you put 2 years in going to community college, you run everyone you can back.
That's right. Look at the look on his face. I wasn't fair catching that ball. So Iowa starts in Minnesota territory at the 48-yard line after the punt return by Weegan. High backfield behind Gronowski. Changing things up a little bit in the run game, if that's what's coming. And it's a run blitz by Minnesota. And still Moulton got about 5 on it.
that Green Bay run game has a lot of checks for the quarterback. Under center, one of the things the NFL does, he wanted to get used to doing that.
You can see he just did it the last 2 plays. Bootleg here, throw out in the flat, complete. First down and a bunch more. And it's Ortworth, the tight end. First down, Iowa. Pretty good numbers throwing the ball. Obviously what he's done running the football this year has been phenomenal. And here's another throw. Nope, this time a sack from behind. For the Gophers, second down at 14. And the Gophers waiting on Moulton that time, a loss of a couple. Anthony Smith led the way.
Yeah, we talked about Anthony Smith making all those sacks. Remember, against Nebraska, this defense had 9 sacks in that game. You don't get as many opportunities, especially when it's 31-0 in this game. But he leads the Big Ten in pressures with 28, and good for him, playing good run defense. I think, it's one of those times where, like, all you have to do is sack the quarterback. No, he's playing run defense as well.
That 9 sacks for PJ Fleck's defense against Nebraska was a school record. This guy's a little different to try to find, number 11. Moulton, and nice job off the corner. Excuse me, that was Williams, and John Nestor came flying in there to make the tackle. And the all-time leading field goal kicker for the Hawkeyes has got another one. That is career field goal number 70. Stevens, who just hit the 46-yard field goal to kick off. Coy Parrish waiting for Minnesota. And he's going to have to let this one go. Hits the back line. Here's a shovel pass. On an inside run by Cam Davis. It picks up about 7 yards. Minnesota trying to go with a hurry up here. No points, 2.3 yards of play, only 3 first downs. A couple of interceptions thrown by Lindsey. Set to throw again over the middle, and that's a first down toss to Davis.
So again, an inability by Minnesota to run the ball. They had a good rushing game against Nebraska, 35 rushes for 186 yards, but the 3 previous games, they didn't even gain that many yards running the ball. They were averaging 44.
Davis again. This is his best run of the day. He got clobbered at the end of it by Ettringer, one of the captains of the defense. And we had a late flag.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Dylan Ray, number 73, for holding at the end of that play.
Cole Knevel, the referee, talking it over with the side judge, Stephen Thielman.
Thought he got a grab on him. Let's see if they saw it.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 44, Iowa, 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. That's his first penalty toward disqualification. Automatic first down.
Kenneth Merriweather with the unsportsmanlike conduct, the first Iowa penalty. So you tack on some yardage there, and it's got the Gophers at the Iowa 39. Lindsey going to throw late out to Ejeboy in the flat, and he's going to lose yardage. Throw to the outside. Brockington, who's back in there after being shaken up earlier, and he might have got a yard out of that. Jim Lindsey was part of that undefeated Arkansas team that you saw the picture of with Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. And Jim went out to a career, ironically enough, with the Minnesota Vikings. He was in the backfield with Bill Brown, Dave Osborne, Clint Jones, Oscar Reed, and Jim Lindsay.
That
Offside.
sounds like your team.
Number 90 in the neutral zone, causing the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
A few
Brian Allen.
groans. Yeah, a few groans on that, but that was the right call. Brian Allen went into the neutral zone right here. Watch it. Anticipates and just draws the offside.
So a couple penalties on this drive against Iowa. Still, it's a 3rd down and 6 for Minnesota. Lindsay trying to throw back to the middle. Got it. Oh, in and out of the hands of Ejeboy. And we got a flag down again. And a player down again. And that's Kendrick Lanier, I think.
Yeah, I thought the hit, though, was on
Personal foul.
Ejeboy.
Number 4 defense with targeting. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
The hit to the
That play
head
is under further review.
was on, let's see, right here. Yes, it was right there. He wasn't the man being thrown to. It was just an unnecessary play.
After review, the contact was shoulder to shoulder. There is no foul for targeting.
Okay.
However, the 15-yard penalty, personal foul, will still be enforced. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's what I'm just going to ask you, Gene, if it could be that instead of targeting, and it was. Well, Minnesota's penetrated to just inside the 21-yard line here. Haven't been there all day. Cam Davis on the toss, trying to get wide, not going to get there. Loss on the play of about 4 or 5. And Zach Lutmer back there to make the hit. Lindsay in the shotgun. He's had a tough day. 5 guys coming, and that's in and out of the hands of Ejeboy, incomplete. Brings up 3rd and long. Lindsay's going, come on, we got to hurry up. Play clock down to 1. He rolls, he throws, almost intercepted, but it's caught by Brockington. Boy, I thought that was going the other way for a second.
Well,
Lutmer made a play on the ball.
Yeah, so did Zach Lutmer. He was thinking pick 6 again. Watch him run this play down. He thinks he's going to get it, and then it goes too low.
Luckily, it was thrown low.
Yes, exactly. A perfect throw, and Lutmer would have had it.
Brady Denneberg just hit a 34-yard field goal. Both scoreboard clocks had zeros up there to end the 3rd quarter, but Minnesota had taken a timeout with 7 seconds remaining in the quarter. So we're not quite done with 3, but Minnesota finally gets 3 as Brady Denneberg knocks it in for the first points of the day for Minnesota. Let's see if Minnesota is thinking about kicking straight away. Yes, they will. And still 3 seconds remaining on the clock. Throws incomplete, and the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And they've got that shaded to the Iowa side of the field, and I can see why, because they've got a big lead, 34-3. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell, Gene Steratore. In the 119th meeting between the Hawkeyes and the Gophers, and it's all Hawkeyes going to the final 15. And they keep it on the ground. Jazzy and Patterson on the carry. Gronowski incomplete into some coverage. Fakes it to Cam Davis and throws
Oh,
it.
another
drop ball, and it is Davis out of the backfield. Boy back in there. And he's had trouble catching the ball as well. 2nd down and 10. They'll give it to him. And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. 3rd down and 9. Lindsey trying to get it to the tight end. He had his hands on it, but it was broken up. Weston to kick. Weegan on the other end runs up on it at the 31 and got about 5 yards on the return. Got an end around coming to Weegan. Slips through a couple of tacklers and got 8 yards before Parrish can bring him down. So 2 of the guys from little towns, one on the end around, and then Coy Parrish making the tackle. Coy out of Esco, Minnesota. Mark Gronowski on a 2nd down and 2 in the shotgun. And a 1st down run and a lot more. Xavier Williams.
Oh, good play. Good
Lost
defense.
one there. And that was Devon Williams.
Right now, Iowa's playing football. They don't want to get anybody hurt now.
Williams. On 3rd and 9, Gronowski got away, at least for a moment. He's just going to throw it away. And it'll be 4th down.
Back to receive for Minnesota, Quentin Reddick.
And just didn't quite make the field of play. And Minnesota will bring it out to the 20-yard line with just under 10 minutes to go. With a 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. They fake it to Cam Davis. Lindsey almost went down and got rid of it to the sideline. Lindsey stands tall, fires far side, and has Brockington for a 1st down. Lindsey steps up and over the middle is intercepted. Cam Buffington. 3rd interception thrown by Lindsey today, and Buffington's got one. Cam Buffington, a redshirt freshman out of Winfield, Iowa, with the big moment for him here today.
Yeah, we're going to see the backup quarterback for Iowa now. Heklinski's in the game, I believe, number 10.
Jeremy Heklinski. And Minnesota got back apparently. No offside. Here's a toss to Patterson. Take a look at Mark Gronowski's final stats on the day. 12 out of 19 for 135 and a touchdown. He also ran 2 yards for a score. And for Drake Lindsey, there'll be better days ahead, but 3 interceptions today.
Whole offensive line, the backups are in.
Heklinski wants to throw his first pass. Does. Low, but caught. He's running the show right now, and Iowa's looking to score more. Jazzy and Patterson, the guys that are in there, they may be backups, but they want to play. Second and goal at the 6. Eklinski's going to keep his own number, and he's in. Touchdown, Iowa. Extra point by Drew Stevens is up and good. And first down run by Xavier Ford, true freshman, getting a little bit of work here. Final 5 minutes. On the ground, Xavier Ford again. And that might take us down to the 2-minute timeout. Iowa going to celebrate Floyd of Rosedale here in 2 minutes. Minnesota trying to pick up a first down and can't. Nice job by Epinesa on the defensive line, a freshman.